Alright. Should be good to go now. I just had to quickly drink and eat water because I didn't cook food for myself like I normally should. And it arrived, like I'd ordered it, and it arrived fucking late. But whatever, that's okay. So I guess to begin this stream, I'm not gonna be doing 100 character designs in one sitting because it's fucking insane. And I don't think it's achievable. Like, I mean, I think it is achievable if I were, if I really were to dedicate myself and if I kind of, I guess if I wanted to do it, because I didn't really, like, it's a good bragging point, like, yeah, I designed 100 characters in one sitting. But from an actual, like, enjoyability standpoint, I don't really want to be doing that, so I guess, fucking, let's begin. To give context to what I'm doing episode 6 of my webtoon. Yeah, that's about it, really. Here we have the main character, sort of talking about the puddle, and due to the concept of this episode being sort of interdimensional cable-esque, right? It's sort of the idea of just doing small kind of skits within the vehicle of the story and like having it kind of be thematic. I guess because Astrolads is how would you say this? Like, its themes are kind of like, I don't know. Like I've tried to think about like, oh fuck, I can't even speak right now. I've tried to think about it in a way to properly articulate it, but it's kind of hard. But the more that I kind of started to try and pinpoint it, I guess it's sort of like, because that one person when they told me like, oh, this is like way too political, I was like, it's not. That was never the intent to be it. But I was like, I guess when you're just sort of saying a lot of, how do I don't want to sound like a fucking dick like instantly 10 minutes into the stream. But I guess it's sort of when you're saying, like, when you're unearthing lies, right, or when you're, like, challenging a lot of consensus things, I guess that is inherently kind of political when you're, yeah, like, when you're just challenging a lot of established, conceptions, which is what it does in a little bit of a sense. I mean, to me, again, I kind of see it as more telling the truth about things that I've already known, and I'm surprised other people have not come to the conclusion to themselves. So that's kind of the driving force behind it. I don't know why I'm drawing this liquid texture like this. It's just to do like a dividing gutter. Normally, actually, I do this with black, but I don't know. I guess I should probably work on the other image that you saw at the very beginning, because I'm not obliged by anyone to produce the webtoon, right? Like, I feel a little guilty in the fact that I haven't, I've missed schedule horribly, due to computer problems that, have plagued me for nearly, fucking, what's the date right now? Or, like, what would the date be? I want to say, like, 5 months. So, I've had computer problems for, like, nearly 5 months. So, yeah, it's been rough. That's the least I can say. Especially because, I do basically everything with the computer, right? Like, I fucking, like, any sort of banking, any sort of, like, even just keeping in touch with my family, because I live, I'm the only person of my family on this continent, like, on this landmass, right? So, like, the nearest family member I have, is, like, nearly a fucking 15-hour flight away, so Yeah, like, not having the computer is a bit fucked because it's, like, the main singular, like, way to do things. So this is the title of the other thing I was talking about. So this is a movie that I am actually... not movie, sorry. It's a show that I am actually obliged to produce, which is a uni project. The idea of this, not of the project, but what you're meant to do is you're meant to get, like, real work experience, and I sort of thought, what better way to get work experience than to produce, produce a show, like, and try and pitch it to some network. I will be honest, I don't know if it like feasibly can become something greater than just a cute sort of pitch Bible test thing. Mainly because... oh, I forgot. After resetting my computer, my Steam is no longer silent. Mainly because this... I don't have enough time to work on it. Like, 12 weeks to create a full-on, pitch Bible. I at first was like, oh, that seems really easy. Of course I can do that within that amount of time. Like, the main challenge I felt would be from, I guess, doing something outside of my style. But the more I've worked on it, the more I'm like, oh, this is actually quite tough to do. Even just in the sense of having a whole team to have to do shit with. So, well, I say whole team, it's 2 other people. But even just, like, organizing that has been kind of difficult. Oh, I forgot, this is also not just the ambient-only mix of this Pikmin song, so there's, as you can hear, there's actual scary shit. Let me fucking skip that. But yeah, it's tough. That's all I can really say. I'm not gonna complain because I do think I am incredibly lucky to be able to do this, right? Other people have to work on jobs or things that they, like, straight up hate, or, like, it's work that it's not really enjoyable. And while this at times is not enjoyable, I'd say overall it is probably more enjoyable than it is not. Yeah, okay. Hold on. Trying to figure out how to do the shading on this as well, because the object is kind of... it's kind of like, not defined in a 3-dimensional space due to the art style that we're gonna be, working on here. I guess I can also show, what we already have from, I guess what I call, like, the Discord. So, I just gotta hide. Okay, wait, streamer mode is enabled, so usernames are hidden, that's really good, okay. So yeah, we've got sort of a lot of, nice little characters. These are actually all background characters that, this one person is making. Then, I don't know if we have all of the main cast, so if we scroll, you can sort of see how we were discussing environmental background stuff. Yeah, I'd say this was like the very first initial sketch for the main cast. And then, of course, the other... I guess this was initially like the very first character that, like, one of the people working on produced, which... I wouldn't say they are the main character, because now we have, like, a whole group of people, but it's sort of like, it's sort of like how, to the closest possible parallel, initially it was almost unintentionally, but then the more I thought about it, I was like, oh yeah, this is kind of like that, would be with Gravity Falls, wherein, the central character is sort of like Dipper. Like, he's not, he's not really the main character, but he kind of is, like, in that sense, that character, whose name is Curb. they were meant to be that. They're also non-binary, so I was about to say like he or she, but then I realized I forgot. But yeah, it's been a lot of fun to work on this because it's sort of outside of my comfortable art styles, I guess, to put it simply. Like, I'm working on this background, which very much, you can kind of tell, actually, no, what was that brush? I kind of like that, maybe. You can kind of tell this is my art style normally, but now that I'm actually experimenting with this brush, I'm gonna try to stylize this in a way that is not, indicative of my normal style. Yeah. I also realized something, because it says one viewer, but is that me? Right, like, I'm assuming, is that me, or is that not, like, is that an actual other person? I'm actually gonna check, yes, if you're watching your own okay, good. So I don't have to be too focused on that. Also, this is really embarrassing, but thank God no one was currently looking at it. I had left on the starting soon indicator, but now it's gone. So yeah. I also don't know if 'cause these are obviously streamed at 10 p.m. I don't know if that's too late, because inherently, like, I don't know. What do streamers, like, normally do? Like, I've kind of vaguely researched it, but not enough for me to know when the optimal time is, right? Because that's something even with Instagram, wherein I tried to, like, game, what do you call it? I tried to game the algorithm, but then I sort of, after nearly like 6 years of trying to game the algorithm, I was like, this is fucking pointless. So I'm just trying to brute force it at this point, and I hope eventually I will kind of get that foot through the door type of thing. Again, a very strange dichotomy I sort of have is that I really don't like the idea of any sort of, like, being in the public eye. So I've held off on doing streamer stuff, right? Like, I've held off on trying to become any type of, like, internet personality or any type of, like, content creator, because I don't like that idea. It's sort of yucky. I feel like parasocial relationships, just having them kind of having anyone on the fucking planet know shit about you, it's a bit, you know, it's a little bit, it's fucking scary, mate. It's fucking scary. So I've held off on doing a lot of that, but then I realized, because of the way the world is, I guess I kind of have to if I want to, like, feasibly make it within any kind of creative industry. Not fully, right? Like, not, if I'm doing, like, henchman work, no. But if I'm planning to do, like, sort of creative directing type of things, which I feel, kind of horribly is the only thing I'm actually competently good at, like, at least especially, given my own... Okay, wait, this is too silly to have playing. Given my own, like, level of experience, I don't think I'm suited for anything besides creative directing. Because a lot of things, like, if you look, for example, even at Astrolads, outside of the world building itself, the actual, like, all of the pieces separately are not very impressive, right? Like, they're not very... Like, I feel like most people could decently, with maybe, like, a year of practice, get to where I'm at, from a complete singular asset point. But if you then take everything together, right, like if once you see the whole thing as a cohesive thing, then I would feel it's a little bit more impressive. I mean, just mainly upon like looking at, I guess, any of my work, right? I don't know how to fucking say this correctly. But a lot of, yeah, like, it's just a lot of the pieces alone I don't think are all that impressive, but when they come together it creates something more cool. I don't know. I again, didn't really know how to articulate that. I guess it's just, in terms of now, because I can, I guess, do reflecting whilst I'm doing it, which is a little bit comical, in a weird way, because normally you would do this after, but I'm doing it while within the actual process. I feel like a lot of learning how to speak in front of an audience, where you have zero way of knowing, if am I doing this right? You have zero way of properly understanding if what you're doing is correct, or if it's actually entertaining or retains any sort of audience. So it's hard, I guess. That's all I'm really trying to say. It's hard because I don't know what I'm meant to talk about. Yeah, I guess that's. I don't know. There's a lot of aspects, I guess, because it's, I guess when you are the central driving force of the stream, I guess you get to choose what you want to talk about, but there's so much, right, that it's sort of, I guess it's the idea of choice paralysis, because there's so much to the point of where it becomes almost overwhelming. I sort of have the issue where if I'm given too much choice, either I'll instantly have the answer, or it'll be too much for me to properly know what I want to do. Let me see if, I was a silly Billy here, I haven't, let me see. I guess, yeah, if I paste that and do some sort of overlay, just mainly because of that underneath part, I feel like that's a bit better. Let me see if I can change the sort of hue here. Okay, yeah, I think this is already starting to size up to something a little bit good. I don't know if I should do this linelessly as well, right? Because that's another thing that I feel depending. Oh dear. Oh, I see. This is still the overlay layer. That was a bit messy. As you can see, also the way my workflow is kind of it's not as uniform as it could be. When I've worked with other people on projects, like for example, the capstone film that I did for university, with that I fucking what do you call it? With that, I'll organize my, I'll happily organize my layers and shit, but when it comes to actual, alone, stuff, I don't really feel the need to, because I understand my own chaos of layers somehow. I think I would say it's a personal preference thing, right? I don't think it's a universal experience, but I'm okay with it. So, and I guess that's sort of at the end of the day, that's the most important thing when you're working on any kind of creative work, that if you're able to understand the, like, not the, how do I say this? If you're able to comprehend what you're doing, even if other people aren't, and you're able to deliver the, like, the finished product, I guess that's such a yucky way to say any sort of creative artwork type of stuff, but, I guess I've sort of been trained, due to uni again to think like that. But it's if you're able to produce the finished product, it doesn't matter, like, the process of how you get there, as long as you're not using AI or tracing. But, but if, yeah, it's again, if you're able to create whatever it is you want to create, and the art style or whatever it is that you're doing, achieves the goal of doing so. Sorry, I was getting distracted by that. Then I don't think it really matters how you get there. Like, I really don't. I can understand why, I mean, this is something that absolutely would drive me up the walls whenever I was doing any sort of, academic work again, is wherein there's a very streamlined process of doing things. Like, even with this, this project, one of my lecturers, we had like an assignment where we had to create a contingency plan, which, by the way, is also not really applicable, I feel, for a project like this, because the whole central plan of budget, scope, and scale is something that you would only do once you're actually within the production, like, with, what would you call it, with the actual, like, network that you've pitched this to, or whoever, you know, the investors, or whatever the fuck, right? Whoever is seeing this final product, they're the ones who will be deciding, what the budget is, what the scope is, like, how it's gonna be distributed, not you. So, when I worked on that contingency plan for that assignment, I basically, I did it quite minimally, and I felt like I justified it relatively, like, good, right? Like, I feel like I justified it. And the lecturer did not like the justification at all. And so I got a pretty bad grade on that, which I'm a little upset by. But then, yeah, I guess the idea is, I'm very confused as to why I need to do a uniform process on things when the final objective and what is actually being achieved, like, it doesn't really matter, right? Like, that's kind of, I almost think that's even what makes it a little bit weirder as well, especially from my own experience of doing this sort of creative work, is that, sorry, I'm getting fucking, like, brain fart fogged. It's that I don't think it matters what your process is, or, like, how you... I just, like, mid-sentence of that I realized I'm just repeating myself, but yeah. Central idea is, if you can produce something, how you get there does not matter, as long as you are actually doing it. That's sort of like jelly, actually. I don't want to make this... There we go, that's a little bit better. I can't quite put my finger on this, but I do still feel like this, this composition, like, as a whole, has a very weird sort of amateur look to it, and I don't understand what it is. Yeah, I don't know. It's sort of like, I guess it's because there's no light source, I think. Like, there's no, yeah, I don't know. Is that, okay, so that's the actual central thing. If I merge this, I think I might have an idea of how to properly, make this look a bit better. I guess what I'm trying to do here as well is if I sort of maybe a pin light would look nice just to create like an environmental sort of look. Not look, but lighting. Hard light. Trying to figure out what exactly glow, I guess. The problem is still like brightness contrast. Actually, I think that might be a better idea. If I use paint and apply, maybe? No. I have an idea. If I do that and then... Whoops. I don't know what the fuck I just did. Okay. Delete this. Actually, that kind of looks good just by itself, almost. I kind of like that. I might have to make the actual logo as well stand out a little bit more, but... I kind of like the direction that this is going in. Something I'll also be doing here for, like, the fucking... I was gonna say one person, but I don't think anyone, at least not in the immediate future, will be looking at this VOD. But for whoever would be, I'm gonna try do a, like, video on, game shit, because I was playing a really weird, Half-Life mod. And I kinda like stuff like that. I like really kind of... How do I stylize this as well? Sorry, I'm trying to figure out how to do this. But yeah, no, sorry. I like weird source engine stuff, which is what I'm working on. Not what I'm working on. What I've been recording and playing in my free time. I feel like this is also probably, like, I'm basically done, because I don't want to... I have the issue sometimes where I work on something, like, tirelessly, and then it ends up actually looking worse than it did in the middle of the process. I guess this is fine, as is. Let me save that in style card. God, something as well that I've realized, okay. I apologize for that. I'm just currently... I'm currently sending my team an update on this production. Well, not production, sorry. I mean, I guess, yeah, it is called. I guess that is what it would be. I guess I can keep working on the webtoon now. I was kind of thinking of, like, the urgency of... Because I'm gonna be compiling all of the work from... not webtoon. From that project I was just working on. And I'm gonna try have it done by this week. But I also don't know... Sorry, that's also me opening shit on Opera because I have the sounds enabled. I don't know how... It's kind of funny. Yeah, I don't know how urgently I actually need to have that, so I'm gonna quickly check that right now. Okay, yeah, so I have about 5 days or so to compile everything, which I don't think is... I'd say that's relatively achievable. This background here as well, I think, should be okay. I had a relatively sad epiphany as well, wherein I sort of thought, oh, I'll probably have some people looking at the VODs, but like actually sort of looking at them rather than I guess, as we had that example earlier on the last stream, where one singular guy fucking joined for like less than a second and instantly left. But then I sort of thought, like, oh, would people really be watching a... You know, like, would people really be watching a stream with zero views, like a VOD of 0 views? I know I personally wouldn't. Like, there's almost this very strange thing I've noticed. When it comes to any level of bar of entry type thing, which is that if it doesn't have some kind of established viewership, there's almost like this weird sense of wherein, like, when you look at something, it's like, well, if no one else is watching this, why would this be worth my time? Which I guess that almost challenges, I guess, sort of the, well, how would I say this? Like, philosophy, I guess? I don't know if philosophy is the right word, but it definitely challenges the way that I've rationalized sort of how the main characters in the webtoon think, where there's kind of sort of a... I guess think is the right word. It's a bit of, like, I sort of think the same way a little bit, but not quite as hyperbolic as the characters, where I'm like, fucking, you know, what's the thing called? Herd mentality? Where I'm like, herd mentality is really fucking stupid, but then I realize I'm not immune to it as well, right? Like, within that, within what I just described, that is like me, being guilty of it. Let's see, how do I... Okay, well this is good already. Is that the only object? Yeah, it is. It's kind of embarrassing, actually, now that I think about it, that I criticize herd mentality so harshly in the webtoon. But then, like I sort of said, I don't think I'm immune to it, just as anyone else is. Okay, let's see. I'm a bit confused here as well as to why... what exactly the problem is here. Is it due to tolerance? This is a very strange thing happening here with, my ability to select, yeah, like to select these fucking, PNGs. Oh, I see, that's probably the issue. But even then, why would that be, like, the driving, problem here? So if I do that, and then I try that again... yeah, I guess that was the issue. I don't know, though, why it wouldn't highlight the black part of... what do you call it? Of the texture. Yeah, okay. Let's see. It was very silly of me doing it on the wrong layer again. I mean, it kind of goes to show how it doesn't matter how long you've been doing any sort of drawing stuff, no one's immune from the classic fucking drawing on the wrong layer. Oh, there we go. It's sort of a cactus thing that I'm doing there, and then there's just a whole bunch of rocks that are alive, or implicitly alive, but not exactly, you know. Yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of, I guess, like, the more I'm thinking about this live stream, I'm sort of getting... also, yeah, this is sort of, since the concept of this episode is essentially, like I said earlier, it's like a doom scrolling thing. Here's some funny little posts that I haven't finished doing yet. But I'm getting sort of, I guess, I guess bummed out, is that's sort of the right word to describe this. Where I'm kind of like, oh, this, as nice as it is to be doing this, I don't know, like, if anything is actually going to come from this. Like, just in terms of, I don't know. Like, I mean, even for myself, I don't think I'm enjoying streaming as much as I should be. Just mainly because it's kind of, when you have, yeah, like when you have no viewership, even when you are describing a lot of things that I think could be helpful for people, like sort of as I talked about, even just the whole process thing of if you can achieve whatever it is you want to achieve, it doesn't matter how you get there, that whole idea. Or even in my other live stream where I sort of talk about some of the real life weirdness and how a lot of pharmacokinetics are like not properly taught in class, even though it could save your life, or in high school, or, you know, like during any sort of school thing. So I'm kind of, you know, it's kind of like sad, because it's like, oh, even if you have all the answers to, not all of them, that's wrong again, but even if you have the answers to try and help people, sometimes you'll never reach them, just because of how things are set up, like, from a, I don't know what the word is. I was gonna say maybe institutional standpoint, but that's completely wrong, so I don't know. Also, at first, I was a little tiny bit concerned of how I'm gonna draw like the skulls and shit on here, but the more I'm working on this, the more I'm like, oh, this is relatively achievable. It's not actually as difficult as I thought it would be to texturize this fucking cactus coral thing. That's sort of something I've actually really loved about drawing this reality, is that it's like a kind of there's almost like an ambiguous ocean aspect as well, like sort of because even though it's meant to be like this sort of big ass fucking Lovecraftian type desert, there's sort of anything with any sort of sand that could be within this environment, which I really like. I've also, now that I'm looking at the stream, I don't think I'm going to be continuing, at least not for tonight. But I will be, because I'm sort of obliged to, due to, as I sort of, I think alluded, I don't know if I'm full-on said it or not in the stream. There shows sort of my level of attention in speaking. Let me stop the music as well, that was it's a bit silly. But yeah, because I'm sort of obliged to, due to it being sort of a uni task. But yeah, I don't know. I will be back next week, and I will see what I'm gonna do and how I want to do it, because I'm still not sure how I want to do how I want to because the objective of this class is to produce content just anywhere, just even to get reach, just to do any sort of strategies. I'm not sure how I'm going to do that yet, because I feel like, as I said, there's a level of almost pointlessness that just I sort of feel whenever I stream. So yeah, I'll be back. I'll see how to solve that, and I hope you have a good day or night whenever you're looking at this. I just looked at my gain. I need to check the audio settings. I really hope that I've not been streaming with fucking awful audio quality, but yeah, thank you all for coming by. Goodbye.